Hey crafty friends, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today I'm going to take a look at some specialty texture gels from Faber Castell. We're going to take a look at the asphalt texture and the cement texture and how you can use them in your crafting. Let's take a look. Alright, so let's take a look at our cement and asphalt texture gels from Faber Castell. When you open them up, you'll notice they look a little milky or a little cloudy, and that's because they're wet. When they dry, they do dry perfectly vibrant. So in the asphalt, what you have are these kind of like coarse granules, like asphalt, suspended in a black type of mixture, and it's pretty thick and chunky. It's definitely the texture of like a coarse or a thick frosting. You can see it right here on my palette knife. By the way, I do recommend using a palette knife or a craft stick when you work with this material. A paintbrush is just not really going to do it justice. So let me show you how it looks on some paper. I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit and just kind of trowel it on. And as you can see, it's really gritty and it's really thick. And it sticks pretty well as long as you kind of press it down as you are smearing it around. If you just smear it around, it won't stick very well. You have to kind of press it into the fibers of the paper. And next we'll take a look at the cement, and as you see I have a little asphalt in there because I use the same palette knife over and over again, but it is a very similar texture. This reminds me more though of sand, so if I were using like a beachy type of theme, this would make a perfect sand embellishment. And once again I'll just apply some to this paper so you can see how it goes on and kind of that consistency here. You also could use probably an old bank card to apply it successfully. Let's take a look at some dried sample. Before we move on to those samples, I do want to point out that you can dye the cement product or the white product. You can add distress ink or watercolors or acrylic paints, but I just thought it was really cool to add some color. Again, if I was doing a beachy theme, this is just a spectacular color. And the thing is, I can mix it all up. This is just a piece of cardstock, and then I can trowel this through a stencil, and really that's where I feel like this product wants to be, is put through a stencil. So now let's take a look. Here are two examples where I used the asphalt and I just applied it right onto a tag, and as you can see now it is completely dry. I want you to see how flexible this is. I can actually roll this around, and as you look, it doesn't crack at all, which I think is pretty fantastic. So if you put this on a book or something that's going to be handled, you don't have to worry about it flaking or cracking off. I just think that's a really wonderful property of this product. I mean, look at it. It's not budging off of my fingers. I don't think you could get it off of there if you tried. But look at how it exists on this tag that I went through a stencil. I love the way it holds its texture and shape. I was surprised that it went through the stencil so perfectly, but I just think that is absolutely stunning, and it gives it a great three-dimensional texture. Look how it raises up off of the surface, but it's really stuck on there really securely. So let's take a look at some cement. So for this one, I applied it to a tag, and then I actually used a spray on top of it. And I thought it was really interesting that it colored both the sand and the tag underneath it. So if you wanted to completely cover it up with a thin wash of acrylic paint or watercolors, you absolutely could. And like I said, this is a spray product like a Tattered Angels. For this one, I put the white cement on top of a tag that I had just sprayed, and it did seep up a little bit through it. So I think it's interesting that if you use this on top of a water-based product, you're going to kind of tint it by default, whether you think you will or not. The asphalt, of course, because it's dark, doesn't let any of the color show through. It's completely opaque, whereas what you get is kind of a translucent effect with the cement. And here's one more sample where I used it with a stencil on a tag. I just love the texture and dimension. I actually had gotten this a little bit tinted with that purple, and I just absolutely love it. But I know I can go ahead and wash over top of it or tint it to another color if I want to. It's just really, really fun. Okay, here's one more sample for you, and this is where I use some of the dyed cement. Again, I used the Distress Ink re-inker for this, and then I put it through a stencil. And I just love, again, the color, the texture, that little bit of pop. It's really easy to use, and it's really, really versatile. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and or informative. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up because that really does help out our channel. I hope you'll take a look at the cards and annotations for other related craft product reviews and tutorials that you might enjoy. And lastly, I hope you'll join us every time as a subscriber. Click the red subscribe button so that all the crafty videos come to you. Thank you so much for watching and have a crafty day.